Welcome inside Blaine High School, everybody, on QCTV Sports. It's section tournament time. I'm Pete Anderson alongside Tim Anderson. And here tonight we've got the Section 7 4A quarterfinal matchup. It's the 4-5 game. The home team are the Blaine Bengals. The away team and the 5 seed are the Andover Huskies. Tim, these two teams evenly matched as they come, except for when they played each other here this year.
Yeah, 14-12, both teams coming into tonight's game, so that's kind of interesting. Andover had the stronger conference record, also had the head-to-head advantages, as you mentioned, so it was a little bit surprising, and I talked to Nick Novak just a few minutes ago, who's here tonight with the Anoka Tornadoes girls basketball team, who will play the winner of this. Was a little surprised we weren't at Andover for this game, but you're right, Pete. This should be a very interesting basketball game tonight, led by Caitlin Wozniak. Blaine is very, very solid. They can get up and down the floor. And Logan Miller has been the fun freshman to watch tonight for Andover. That contrast of style should be really fun.
We had an opportunity here on QCTV to see Logan Miller play as the last time she took the court. That was the regular season finale against Rogers. Andover winning that game. Logan Miller, the star of that game, with 30-plus points. And that inside-outside game that the Huskies have with Evers and Miller is going to put a lot of pressure on the Blaine Bengals, and they're going to have to really make shots to keep up with Andover.
And this Andover team has really gotten better as the season's gone along, Pete, under new head coach Aubrey Draves. She's done a really fine job with this team, and they have gotten better. They're really young, not a lot of seniors on this roster, only a couple of them, and most of the players you're going to see tonight, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, lots of young players for this Husky team. It's a very good core.
We are underway. The tip is off of Miller, off of Shaw, out of bounds on the Huskies. It'll be the Bengals ball. Starting lineups for both teams. On the Bengals side, it's Wozniak, as you mentioned, the leading scorer for the Bengals. She's got 17 a game, and Marley Jansen will give it off to her. Wozniak puts it on the floor with the left, stops it at the free throw line, now backs it out for Holly. Holly pulls up just inside the three-point arc. No good. Rebound is Mila Evers, and she'll hand off to Ellie Fields. Fields met just off the logo. Monica Olsen thought about the shot and then turns it over. Bringing it the other way. Wozniak up. No good. Off the rim. Gets her own rebound, and then it's Miller coming in to steal the outlet pass.
I don't know how Wozniak even got that one on the rim. She just at the guards.
2 quick turnovers against the Huskies, and that one's laid up and in. Mara Holly with the layup. Fields gets around the defense, inside, finds Miller underneath the basket. She'll find the nylon, and it's tied 2 apiece.
Total mismatch right there. Wozniak is the mouse in the house in that situation. Was no chance against Miller. Easy layup for the Andover Huskies center.
Holly near side on the wing, defended by Olsen. She'll use a screen and then a little pick and roll. Miller steals that one as intended for Brewstuen.
That was a snail's pace pick and roll there if there ever was one. Very easy to telegraph and an easy turnover for the Huskies.
Fields gets it up the court, now back in her hands from Ava Shaw. Long pass across the court, finds Evers in the corner, but she was immediately swarmed by this zone of the Bengals, but Evers hits when she gets it back.
That's what Evers can do, right? She can go inside, but also work it outside. 11 points a game on the season, and that's what she can do is knock down threes. Good job by the Huskies and a good start.
Bengals get into their offense. It'll be Holly on the far side. She'll pull up from behind 3. No good. Off the front iron. Gets her own rebound. Works back to the rim. Second attempt isn't good either, but it'll stay here. Last touch by Miller. Bengals ball with 20 on the shot clock.
And that's pretty good work there by Natty Berry, coming in and challenging the bigs for Andover and keeping that ball alive to give the Bengals another opportunity under the glass.
You see here, that was Evers getting her three-point shot. Quickly going inside is Hawley, and she'll get that one to rattle home. She's got all of the Bengals 4 points.
Yeah, Holly can get things done on the inside. Nice little low post move right there. Gives the Bengals a quick hoop, and that's what they need to do is stay patient.
Monica Olsen had an angle, decided not to take it, gives it back. Fields cuts the defense, has it taken away. Brewsterman knocks it ahead. Wozniak brings it up the floor, works past Shaw, no good. Defense solid. Berry on the rebound. Brewsterman backs it out, slows things down. Jansen has it on the floor, picks it up. Holly will work around the corner and lays the runner up and in. All 6 points.
Love that from Mara Holly on the run, playing with some confidence and putting pressure on those guards, and Miller wide open underneath.
Quick passing by the Huskies. It was Fields to Evers.
To Chance. No, I'm kidding. No, it's a wrong reference. That's a baseball reference. Nobody get that.
Inside to Miller. Brewsterman from the baseline. Can't get that one to hang on the front rim. It'll be the other way for the Huskies. Bringing it up the floor. Fields gives off for Evers. Back up top for Fields. Zone press here in the half court for the Bengals defense. Olsen drives it back. Kicks out for Shaw. Shaw from the top. Nails the three. Ava Shaw averaging 4 points per game. Hits an early three, her first shot of the night.
And that's how you can break down pressure right there. If you can work inside, outside, get an open three, and then knock that down, you have to respect that if you're Blaine.
Holly's going to try and answer. She can't. Olsen gets the rebound. Works back to the middle. Now gives near side. Fields crosses the timeline where she's met with pressure immediately. Wozniak and Holly combine.
Blaine extending the defense here.
Knocked out of Miller's hands, out of bounds, but the Huskies really now figuring out the ways to get around the pressure and get that ball still inside to Miller.
Yeah, they're extending out that zone, kind of a 3-2 zone, if you will, and they're putting a lot of pressure on the guards and trying to extend the offense of Andover back out near the timeline. Good job by Andover moving it around because Miller's just dealing with it inside all by herself. At least 1-on-2 when she's catching it, but she's taller than anybody for Blaine. Blaine's got a major matchup problem on the inside.
So we have an issue at the scorer's table, and I think we're talking about where the possession arrow is pointed.
Yeah, very fair. That's
should be pointed towards the Huskies. It was touched by the Huskies. It was never possessed. Off the inbound pass, it's Mila Evers. She gets it up and in. It's a two-pointer.
That's too easy, too. A little cut move there off the inbound. Way too easy.
Brewsterman gets Evers off her feet, but the pass is too hot to handle for Holly. It'll be the Huskies' ball. Holly does not like the call.
Doesn't like the call. Aubrey Draves really bought it. She sold it on the sidelines as the coach, you could see pointing right there saying, yes, I got that call.
Fields brings it up.
You can see the extension of the defense.
She pulls up, gives to Olsen from the left wing. No good off the back iron. Miller goes up and gets the rebound, and now it'll be a held ball. It'll stay with the Huskies. Clock will reset. The shot clock will reset to 20.
Blaine's got to be aware of this too, Pete, because if they're going to shoot threes, you're going to expect long rebounds. You have got to crash. You have got to box out. Can't allow second and third chance opportunities for the Huskies.
Inbound pass was tipped, but Fields is still able to control. Her shot off the mark. The rebound comes through the paint. Jansen controls, quickly pushes it up the floor near side. And that's a travel. Picking up her foot was Rosie Rakuski, now onto the floor for the Bengals. And a turnover.
And that's what pressure does, Steve. Sorry, I'm with Steve all year, Pete. You got to forgive me on that one. It's what it speeds you up, right? And that's what Andover just did. They sped up the Bengals, and Rubisky wasn't quite ready for that speed, and she stopped and traveled.
One-touch passes for the Huskies. Gets it around the perimeter. Shaw loses it. Gets it right back. Olsen from the left side. That one's in and out. Rebound tapped out, and it is going to stay with the Huskies.
That's the right call, too. Last touch there by the Bengals as they were trying to crash on the inside. Hey, how about the national anthem tonight, Pete? Sung by one of our senior gentlemen here at the Blaine High School. That was lovely.
Yeah, it was outstanding. Love a good rendition of the national anthem at a high school event.
Just so used to hearing kids do it, so it's kind of fun to get somebody else's voice involved in that.
Evers misses her three-point shot. It's no good.
12-6 now. Bengals need a hoop. It's been a little dry here, Pete, these last 4 or 5 trips down.
Hawley has all the points for the Bengals. Wozniak, 17 points per game. He's only attempted 1 shot. Jansen puts it on the floor, has to back it out to Hawley. Still 15 on the shot clock. Near side, Rikuski. Into the wing for Wozniak. Wozniak will put it onto the floor, into the paint.
Oh, she traveled too.
And she has an extra step. Fields with some good defense. And the Huskies bench is alive. Loving the turnovers.
Yeah, it feels a little heavy right now for the Bengals. They seem a little tense. The Andover bench feels very loose. They just don't feel like they're rattled much. A little pressure now being shown by the Bengals full court.
Fields tries to split the defense, has it tapped away. It comes right back for Wozniak. She lays it up with the left hand.
Fields has tried that 2 or 3 times and just turned it over 2 or 3 times. You're not going to be able to split the defense that way. It's going to be very difficult. Good running of the floor by Evers.
Evers continues that momentum. Good assist there for Miller that she pays back Evers, who gave her the last assist on Miller's last bucket. 14-8 is the score. Bengals put the full. It's Cummings that put it on the floor. Now it's into the lane.
Oh, traveled again almost. Oof.
Wozniak nearly picked up that plant foot into the lane, throwing up a wild shot. It goes off of a Husky's body and out of bounds. That was Cummings that.
Yeah, I appreciate the refs didn't pay that off with a foul right here. I mean, there's a little contact, but clearly just shoving one up in the air and hoping for a call. We call that a prayer back in our days there, Pete. That's what we used to say.
Cummings will inbound. She finds near side. It's Hawley's going to quick shoot. No good. Long rebound comes down to Cummings on the baseline. Rikuski puts it on the floor and loses her dribble. Back outside. Bengals running their motion inside, trying to get some help.
Yeah, you got to move
Cummings
here, somebody.
Nearly lost the handle. Fields with playing her like a glove. Barry backs down Miller. Miller might have been trying to draw a call there.
Yeah, Miller tried to pull the chair, and Barry wasn't having it.
14-10 the score. Huskies turn it over again. Rikuski brings it up the floor, stops. No good. Fields able to control the rebound.
Yeah, a little too hard off that back iron for Rikuski, but
Long
I love the idea.
pass ahead for Miller. She tries to go up. Thought she was going to draw the foul call. Instead, it's just out of bounds against the Bengals.
That looked like that old game of 500 you used to play with your friends where you'd throw the football up and all you're trying to do is knock it down. They just threw a little Hail Mary to Miller, figuring she could out-jump the 3 Bengals. Almost did.
Inbound comes to Shaw. Shaw loses the handle. It'll be Wozniak getting it ahead. Rikuski against Fields. And Rikuski's shot no good, but she'll go to the line for 2. We'll have our first foul call here of the evening.
8 minutes into the game. No fouls. That was insane. Fun start to the basketball game to get one this close and to only get a first foul right here. That's crazy. Something we wholeheartedly endorse here, Pete.
Absolutely. Rikuski's 5 points a game. She misses the free throw there.
Yeah, Rikuski needs to maybe settle into this game a little bit. Seems like the game's a little fast for her right now.
We're 7+ minutes in, and Huskies still have not made a substitution. Doesn't have anybody at the scores table either. Second free throw is good.
It's kind of been the thing with this Andover team most of the year is that they're young, not the super deepest team in the world. They're not going to go super deep in the bench.
Fields, bounce pass near side for Shaw. Back up top, Ellie is going to try to find Shaw. She's going to launch a second 3. This one in and out. Evers trying to tap that over to Miller. Instead, it's Natty Berry that comes away with the rebound. Pushing the floor now is Marley Jansen. Jansen, cross-court pass, near side. Launch 3, Brianna Cummings hits it. We're tied.
It's good basketball right there. They were able to draw, get the coverage down towards the paint, kick to the corner. Easy look for Cummings.
It's been a 6-0 run and timeout called by the Huskies as they were being pressured near the timeline.
Yeah, it was a great timeout right there because they were going to turn that basketball over. Blaine had that press slapped on. They were in all the passing lanes that time. Nowhere to go for Andover, so you rethink this because now an adjustment's been made. Now you have to readjust. Back to that press offense a little bit. Now that Blaine has extended their defense full court after made shots, you have to make the adjustment now if you're the guards of Andover.
Turnovers have been aplenty in the early goings for the Huskies, especially out on the perimeter, turning those balls over as they set in their offense. Early goings, Mila Evers, 7 points to lead the Huskies. Shaw with 3, Miller with 4.
And you get the vibe that the defense, Pete, is really gearing on Miller, right? They're trying to put 2 people in the middle, trying to kind of front and back Logan Miller whenever possible. I think they'll take Evers knocking down shots from the outside against them, but they don't want Miller getting whatever she wants on the interior.
Handoff goes to Annika Olsen. Annika passes it back around. A lot of perimeter movement for the Huskies, trying to find a way to get that ball inside to Evers or Miller. Miller comes to the top of the key. He's going to set a pick. Field puts it on the floor, gets to the hoop, and doesn't get the bucket to fall, but she'll go to the line for 2. And the first Bengals foul is called here this evening.
And that's a pretty smart move by Miller to come out and set the screen. You notice the defense for Blaine. Barry's fronting her, and then they have backside help. So they're daring Andover to throw that ball into the paint at Miller. So what does Miller do? Come out top, set a screen, opens up the lane for Fields on a drive.
First free throw for Ellie Fields is no good. The senior leads the team in assists. Second free throw is good. Her first point averages 4.2 for the game. Annika Olsen steps out into the game now for the Huskies is Liv Holmberg. Bengals will inbound, trailing by a point.
Showing just half-court pressure, maybe a little man-to-man defense here for the Huskies.
Ball comes inside. Hawley back out up top for Jansen. Jansen works to the elbow, now back for Cummings. Cummings nearly lost the handle. Able to get it back. It's tapped away. Holmberg comes away with it, and then we're going to have a foul against the Bengals.
Yeah, loose ball foul there as they lose the handle of it.
I think that's going to go against Earhart.
Yeah, and that's when you pick up your dribble in the lane like that, and
they called that
defense
against Hawley.
Wow,
that's
that's
2 against Hawley, and both of them were iffy against her, and Hawley's going to come out of the game.
She got off to the hot start, so now the pressure is going to go back on Wozniak to make sure she can step forward and get some buckets for them. That could be an astronomical thing later on in this game. Keep an eye on the fouls. Oh, good steal by Barry.
Barry steps in front of that one, brings it up the floor. Telestrated pass. That one, kick ball. Fields also a soccer player.
Yes, there you go. See? For those of you scoring at home.
If you saw how natural that was, did you see that?
Yeah, it was
she
very.
flipped it up right to herself. I mean,
if she could almost bend it around the hoop, that would be really impressive.
And it might have to rename that turn. Barry from the paint gives it outside for Jansen. She's defended by Fields. Now out for Wozniak.
Good defense here by Andover.
Jansen again, closely defended by Fields. Holmberg defending. Now Shaw on Wozniak. A lot of movement without the ball. Wozniak gets inside of the paint. She's defended by Miller. Puts it up. No good. Rebound comes down for Logan Miller. And quickly hands off for Fields. She'll bring it up into the front court. Pass was intended for Evers. It's tapped away, though. It'll go out of bounds against the Bengals.
And that's where just the size of Logan Miller creates problems. Wozniak would have probably loved to have just driven right to the basket there, but she had to stop and do a little turnaround fade because she didn't want to challenge Miller at the rim.
Fields goes baseline, gets the ball back, still onto the floor now, gets it outside. Shaw goes and gets it. She's fighting through, and we're going to have a held ball. It'll be a turnover now because the Bengals will take over possession.
Blaine was persistent. Andover didn't take care of the basketball there, and they forced the tie-up. Well done.
Jansen brings it up, jogs it beyond the PAW logo here at Blaine High School. Barry will wrap it to the far side wing. Fields gets a hand on that one, steals the pass, brings it up the court, goes up top, looking, goes off the rim, deflects back to Evers. I'm sure Ellie Fields planned it.
Almost looked like a shot, didn't it?
Evers has it taken right off of her fingertips. Earhart goes up the floor and lays it up and in. The Bengals lead.
And that's already about 5 of those turnovers in the backcourt like that for Andover, and it's led to hoops for the Bengals.
That is the Huskies' Achilles heel, is turnovers. Poor ball handling, poor passing. Wozniak into the lane, Euro step, no good. And tapped away. It'll be the Huskies ball. Berry coming back late, getting a hand on that one, tapping it out of bounds.
And Wozniak didn't have the numbers, Pete, right? I mean, she's going 1-on-3 against the trees, trying to do a little Euro step, a little hot sauce, and that's not going to get it done against the defense, especially when you have that height advantage like Andover does.
Olsen recognizes the trap. Now the ball comes ahead. Holmberg quickly comes inside. Her pass too high to handle for Miller.
And Miller's getting frustrated because she's like, I'm there right away. Somebody's got to get that ball to me faster. You cannot allow the defense for Blaine to get back and get in front of me. You got to go quicker. And you can see that she's getting a little frustrated. Again, she's just a freshman. This is a high leverage game for this young player, and we'll see how she handles that.
Jansen brings it up, nearly traveled again. Bengals have been called for that at least twice tonight. Into Berry, defended by Miller, back outside. It'll be Jansen.
Gotta watch that 3 in the key right there. Finally got out.
Jansen lays it up, defended by Fields. She comes back and will run the floor. Gets around the defense, working to the baseline, trying to find it to Miller. She does. Miller then loses the handle, and it'll be another held ball. It'll be possession arrow favoring the Huskies, but that's already the third here of this first half. 6:46 to go.
I'll tell you, tip of the cap to Natty Berry defensively on Logan Miller. She has been in the grill of Logan Miller from the start of this game on, just getting her hands on the ball and just creating all kinds of issues in the paint. Very persistent from young Natty Berry.
Olsen trying to be patient and work that ball back through with the late cut towards the basket.
I mean, Berry's just a 5'6" junior guard, and you're going up against Miller, who is, probably a good 3-4 inches taller, it feels like. Although I think 5'6" is, I think she's shorter than that, or maybe taller than that. I don't know.
Shaw back onto the floor. Fields takes a break. Olsen waiting, now gets it inside for Holmberg. Holmberg puts it on the floor, gets it out for Shaw, works around the perimeter to Olsen. Inside, Miller goes to work. Back outside, Shaw launches the 3. It's good! Ava Shaw, their second 3.
And that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to do that all night long because you saw the defense collapse on Miller. As soon as he touched it, there were 4 bodies there for Blaine. Miller saw that, got the pass back out for the open 3.
Cummings will launch. That one no good. Shaw goes up high and gets that rebound, and then she gets swatted across the face. Jansen got away with one there. Olsen brings it up for the Huskies.
Referee said, hey, it's playoff basketball, everybody. Let's get physical.
This might be 2025, but we're playing 1996 NBA rules. Hand checking is allowed. Olsen loses the handle on that one and then commits the foul, preventing the fast break bucket for the Bengals.
Now, I don't think Anthony Mason is going to show up here anytime soon. I think that's a little aggressive, but
give me Charles Oakley.
Charles Oakley,
Anthony Mason.
Oh, give me that all day. That's great stuff. Now you're in my wheelhouse there.
Maybe some Chuck Person playing no defense, but just firing laser beams from the corner.
He wouldn't play in these kind of high leverage games. He wasn't that good.
Putting it on the floor are the Bengals. That was Cummings giving off far side Jansen, and that one too hot to handle for Wozniak.
You feel like Wozniak is maybe playing a little too fast, right, Pete? You get that vibe that maybe she's trying to think 1 or 2 moves ahead.
Pressing a little bit, definitely is she's trying to take that role of being the leading scorer. It means more to basketball players than you know. Shaw loses the handle. Jansen picks it up, runs the floor, finds numbers. Olsen will get called for the kick, but it'll allow the Huskies to get back on defense. And just like that, Ellie Fields back in.
Yeah,
Evers and Miller have not sat out yet here, and we're at 5:29 remaining in the first period.
Yeah, I expect this to be a short break, too, for Natty Berry on the other side for Blaine because she's done a fine job defensively. People got to move for the Bengals. There you go.
Holly gets the ball on the wing. Cummings back for Holly. He's going to launch from the right wing. No good. Rebound goes to Logan Miller. Bengals field goal percentage, especially from beyond 3. They've only made 1 thus far.
Oh, Miller's got that mouse in the house on the inside. Got to feed the center here.
Shot from the outside. That one goes in. Annika Olsen found the bottom of the bucket. And she's got the Huskies lead back up to 5.
Yeah, and that's kind of been the nature of the game. The Huskies will get ahead with the 3. Bengals have to claw back.
Brianna Cummings, she's going to launch again. No good.
Shot looks good, man. I would have thought that was going to go in. That looked really good on the release.
Fields picks up her dribble, goes inside for Miller. Miller allows the defender to clear and gets it up and in. And a timeout for Chris Brewster and the Bengals as that lead gets up to 23-16. Huskies withstood the run by the Bengals when they led by 6. Now they lead by 7.
That time the backside help was too late. Miller had a chance to already catch it on the lob, and the backside help wasn't there in time, and that allowed Miller to have the space inside that semicircle to get the layup. Good job of patience by Logan Miller, because I know that that's probably really frustrating when you're just trying to get shots on the inside, but there she is already up at 6 points.
Taking a look here at the final Northwest Suburban Conference standings, you see the top 3 there. Anoka, Elk River, Maple Grove. 2 of those, actually all 3 of those top seeds in their sections.
Yep.
And Andover then right there behind at 13-6. Totino, Grace, and Blaine each had 10 wins.
It was a really good conference, actually. A lot of teams could really play.
Very good. Yeah, Rogers at 7-9. We saw them on QCTV last week. They played a very tough game and had a lot of spirit to their roster.
And a lot of young teams, too. Like that, even that Spring Lake Park team got better at the end of the year. The Champlin Park team's really young. This Andover team's really young, and boy, did they get, they said they kind of found it here towards the end of the season.
Jansen, defended by Olsen, shot by Hawley. That one's no good.
And
she's
you got to
not
get some
able
help
to get that
crash.
3-point shot going as of yet.
No rebounds, too, on the inside. Only 1 look per trip, and that's exactly what Coach Draves wants.
Evers at the top. Now gives it back for Shaw. Working around the perimeter. Olsen hesitated. Gets it back to Shaw at the elbow. She dribbles it off at a Bengals foot. Turns it over. Wozniak's going to run the floor. She gets stopped by Fields. Kicks it back out. Hawley. That one no good. Big rebound goes to Jansen. Taps back for Cummings, and it's Hawley slowing things down. 15, now 14 on the clock, shot clock. 3:38 to go in the first half. Jansen into the corner. That's Earhart. Looking inside. That one off of Hawley's fingers, and it's Miller that comes away with it. No shot attempt for the Bengals on that trip down the floor.
Shooter's going to shoot, I guess. Hawley has really been pumping them out there. Hasn't knocked one down yet.
Evers nearly threw it away, and it is. Thought Shaw was going to be able to save that one. It slips through her fingertips and goes past that timeline. Over and back the call.
Too many backcourt turnovers, though, for this Huskies team. Just allowing too many chances for the Bengals. Now, the Bengals haven't taken advantage of that yet, but these are the things you have to clean up, though, if you're Andover.
Hawley, top of the key this time, no good. Front iron miss again.
Boy, ice cold are the Blaine Bengals. Just frozen.
Fields works past Hawley, now gives for Shaw. Huskies offense looks a little discombobulated, but Evers is going to launch from the corner. No good. That one goes up into the, what do we even call it?
The stanchion? Is that what you call it? The stanchion? I like stanchion. Feels official, doesn't it?
I feel like that word didn't exist until like 2011.
Yeah, I don't think that's was a real word. I don't think like that was Shakespearean.
Definitely not. Bengals will, after the turnover, will bring it up. Under 3 to play in the first half. They trail by 7. Bengals the 4 seed, Huskies the 5 seed. Both teams coming in with a record of 14-12. Jansen at the top of the key for the Bengals gives for Brewster stepping back into the game. She's been out for a while. Earhart drives the baseline, gives it back up. She'll launch from the corner, no good. Air ball, it goes into Evers' fingers, and she'll secure that rebound, gives it off for Fields.
But you got to get a better look than that. That was
Olsen gets a good look from the corner, no good. Miller gets the rebound. She goes to the floor.
And Logan's just got to play basketball right now. She's doing a lot of yelling at the officials, and again, freshman ball players don't always get those calls, so maybe just go back and play basketball.
Yeah, Rakuski falling into her, and that's what she's looking for in that call. Earhart tries to use a dribble move. Now pass inside, deflected, kicked around. It'll be Olsen that picks it up for the Huskies. Running the floor, gives near side. Evers quickly marked up. Now Olsen will put it back on the floor into the wing. Back up top for Fields. Under 2 to play. Fields has her time and space taken away by Wozniak. Evers, quick 2 from the baseline, no good. And the Huskies probably could have taken up more time on that. Timed on the floor. Jansen runs the floor, throws up a prayer, and it's off of Evers, out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bengals.
I like the idea of at least trying something different there, though, Pete. Drive to the basket, see if you can draw contact, because you haven't made anything from the outside. The problem the Bengals have is that this is just such a tough matchup for them. Matching up against Evers and Miller on the inside is just not ideal for the Bengals. They don't have enough size on the interior to start pushing people around, so they need to make outside shots.
Wozniak puts it on the floor, quickly into the paint, pulls up, no good, front iron, bouncing ball, gets to Evers, and then quickly Fields. Fields will move it up, left to right. Inside, finds Miller, she lays it up and in.
You can't let her catch that low. If she catches it in the semicircle, forget it, it's over. She's going to put it away every time. She's a very tough guard for the Bengals right now.
Rakuski on the perimeter, gives it back to Jansen. Cummings to Rakuski, a 3-man game on the perimeter for the Bengals. Cross court pass near side, finds Bella Brustuen. Cummings thought about it. Was met by Holmberg. Wozniak puts it on the floor, pulls up from the elbow, can't get the runner to go. Rakuski gets the rebound. Cummings launches. That one's no good.
Wow.
And it's Miller with the rebound.
It's like 15 shots in a row that haven't gone in for the Bengals here. It has just been unbelievable.
Shot clock difference here of about 4 seconds. Holmberg doesn't care, launches the 3. Long rebound, comes out. Fields controls for the Huskies. Now still about a 4-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And this was tapped up, and it's going to be out of bounds on the Huskies. Shot clock will be turned off now. 17.2 in the half. Huskies lead by 9. 25-16, largest lead of the game.
All things considered, to only be down 9 points when you didn't really score the last half of this first half, I think should feel pretty good here if you're Blaine. And if you can get a hoop right before the horn, you'd have to feel great.
Inside, Wozniak blocked by Evers. Under 6 to go. She gets the ball ahead for Olsen. Olsen's got some time. Quickly stolen. Bounced out of bounds. And that'll do it for that first half. No final shot. And the Bengals will go to the locker room trailing by 9 here as the high seed, the host team, the 4 seed in section 7-4A. Tim, first half, lots of turnovers, but it's the Logan Miller effect that's helping the Huskies out to a 9-point lead.
The size is the difference right now. Evers able to make the 3 on the outside, Miller on the inside, a real matchup, but also on the defensive side, a really tough matchup as well. Blaine has got to find a way to make some shots in the second half. They're down 9, so they're still very much in it, but they have got to cook in the second half. This was not what they were looking for offensively.
Miller leads all scorers with 8 in the first half. The Huskies lead by 9. We'll be back with second half action here on QCTV Sports. Stay with us.
Well, we've actually kind of had a lot of adversity this season, some ups and downs, and I feel like we've, having those battles has set us up for tonight.
Some extracurricular pushing, shoving, as intensity has certainly increased for both teams.
And, it just takes one weird bounce and your season's over.
He's going to roll to the right. He's going to throw to the end zone. Knocked away!
We're building for today. You play 8 games to get ready for this.
Not so fast.
A wrister here, scores! Top shelf with the peanut butter. Oh.
Play action, rolling out left, in trouble. Dodges another would-be tackler into the end zone. Touchdown!
I'm not sure what Vegas has for the over-under for our camera person in center field getting deflected.
Steps into the middle, wrister goal. Wow!
Can he do it?
Turns
it over. 2 points, wide open, Kuyan 3, switch.
See some of the Husky fans eating a nice healthy meal.
This one is hit high in the air, center field, right center, up, and that's out of here.
Up more. Good feet inside. And what a shot by Schindelbeck.
A base hit, big time.
Drive high and above, and it's a goal! Matt Jones! Danny well jumped the middle, and he busts it. 40. He is gone.
Scratch that, Joe. They do have momentum back.
Trombley over to Reeder. Perfect stat by Trombley. Reeder drops the hammer. How about that? 1 point. So it did come down to second and third as he predicted.
Hey, QCTV, good job picking this meet for television.
This is phenomenal sports entertainment. I mean, it's really good. Forrest Lake to the net. Near side, into the net. That'll do it.
And again, they did it as everybody got involved. And now there they are back in the championship game.
Gilk sends it to the front. Gilk in the middle. There it is. Carly Gilk seals the deal. Cruz to the right, Rebels to the left. Raptors serve. And we are underway. Batted over. Belfield long. Rebels win. 15-12.
All alone, goes up, tries to draw the contact, and drains it. The respect of these two teams, realizing what's at stake, what's there, and the Huskies are going to the state tournament.
It's all about. You win one more, and you get to go downtown Minneapolis and go to the bank.
Sets the wall. Next one scores. Of a blazer. That thing drew paint off of the pipe. Roll out of play. And the Huskies are going to take home a quarterfinal state tournament win 3-2 over the number 3 seed.
We have the best fans in the state, some of the best wrestlers. Thank you, everybody. You continue to keep this tradition alive.
Congratulations to the Andover Huskies, their 7th consecutive Section 7 AA championship.
He's got to look. Now he's got to run. He's in trouble. He's being held on to. Caught! He throws it to the end zone. Caught half the back way. And the Anoka Tornadoes are going to the bank.
As a member of this community, as a former faculty member and coach, it is an absolute thrill. It is an absolute thrill to be able to watch these athletes work their butts off and then be able to reap the benefits of it and feel the unity of being a part of this community. And isn't that something that all of us want, to be part of a community? And that is the greatest thing of all.
Thanks to the crew and QCTV. Have yourself a major league evening at a minor league price.
So we have a great amount of girls that have returned. We do have a young program, which is great, and that's what I love as a coach, is to have a young program. So the goals this year is just to get that varsity experience for younger girls and to continue to build on the foundation of this program.
I think it's going good. We had a lot of seniors graduate last year that played like a big part on our team, so it was definitely a rebuilding year. But so far, from our first game until now, I feel like we've improved a lot. We've learned how to play with each other, and I think that's helped us win more games.
The season's going really well, I think. We're doing a lot, like working together as a team, and it's hard because we're all so young, but I think we're going to use that to our advantage because we got a lot of height, and it's just helping us like really work together and be a family. That's our motto this year, is family.
So far, we've kind of just been focusing on our team culture, and just really like our team motto this year is family. So just being together and always like cheering each other on. That's kind of one of our main goals for this season.
I think just continuing to instill confidence in all of our players, young and old, is important. And then, yeah, just like having confidence in each other, making sure there's always that fun aspect of it, like enjoying laughing, smiling, stuff like that.
We love team bonding, like after games, going out for team meals, even on away games. We always end up going out to eat, so I feel like that's always our favorite part.
gosh, we have so much fun together. We hang out like every single day. Before practice, we get Starbucks.
We love Starbucks runs.
We always have our pregame Starbucks runs.
There's lots of Starbucks involved.
Starbucks again.
Like Chipotle, Zupas, Crisp and Green, literally everything, nautical bowls. I think there hasn't been like one practice where we haven't like either gone before or after to get food, but like we're basketball players, we need to eat and we're always eating. A big goal that we have this year is to kind of just like leave our legacy for us seniors. Like there's only 2 of us and we really want to make a good impact on this program. We got a whole set of new coaches, so we're just all working together to kind of lead the team, and we have a lot of goals to just like compete and show that even though we're young, we can still do so much with everything that we have.
I think it's been a great year so far. It's an honor to be back here as the coach. I graduated here back in 2008. I also played 4 years of basketball here at the varsity level. So it's a full circle moment for me to be back here, and it's a very big honor to coach this program. We have such a wonderful group of girls that are in this program, and it's been a great year so far.
Welcome back here inside Blaine High School. It's the Blaine Fieldhouse. Pete Anderson alongside Tim Anderson. And Tim, that first half, it was chaos.
That's a good word for it.
But the turnovers were aplenty, both sides. But
yes.
it ended up being the Huskies who made more of their shots. There was Mara Holly early in the first half getting 2 of her 6, and then Logan Miller. She was active early and then active late, getting some of those lob passes inside. Holly again with 2 of her 6 points with that runner on the outside. Good looking shot. Ava Shaw has 6 points. That was Annika Olsen with the makes. Ava Shaw has 2 threes from outside.
The big thing here, though, you're right. Pretty sloppy. Neither team was really great at what they wanted to do offensively. But Andover was better at least staying with their identity and staying with who they were. They're like, okay, we can feed Miller in the low block. We can kick it out to Evers and get threes. The key is, can we knock those shots down? Blaine, I feel like, kind of got taken out of the things that they like to do. Holly wasn't able to make the shots that, after getting off to the early start, really struggled late in the half, missed a ton of threes. Wozniak really struggled offensively. You can tell she wants to slash. She wants to get to the basket. And it just felt like the bigs for Andover weren't letting that happen. And I think it threw her out of her rhythm a little bit. Interested to see what adjustments get made here for the second half of the Bengals.
Scores for the Bengals. Holly with those 6. Cummings has a 3-pointer that she put in. Other than that, everybody's just made 1 shot. 1 shot for Wozniak for 2. 1 shot for Natty Berry for 2. 1 free throw for Rakuski for 1. And Earhart, the last 2 points for the Bengals. Bengals will inbound to start the second half. Immediately stolen by Annika Olsen. She's going to run the floor. She pulls up, gets it inside for Miller, runs the floor, works it inside, goes high off the glass and in. Good patience there for Logan Miller. And the Huskies continue right where they left off.
And great footwork from Miller on the inside. She's battling a triple team and just threads the needle right through it and gets the easy one.
Ball goes into the corner, put on the floor. Jansen's going to launch a 3. She hits! A big 3 there for Marley Jansen. She didn't have any points in the first half. That one gives her 3.
That's a big one, too, because that hoop had a lid on it in the end of the first half. So to make that first one here in the second half, big confidence booster for the Bengals potentially.
Pass goes inside for Evers, back outside for Fields. Olsen from the right side, right in front of the Huskies bench. Airballs that one short. No good. It's a 9-point game. Bengals trailing 27-19. Jansen into the corner. She made a shot from there just a couple seconds ago. She's going to launch another one. This one, no good. And Olsen comes away with a rebound.
It looked like she was maybe trying to draw some contact on a little step-back 3, but not a high-percentage shot right there.
Inside out passing. Shaw's going to have a shot from the right side. No good. Long rebound comes out to Evers, and it'll be Fields. Decides to split the defense. A little bunny from the lane. No good. Buried boxes out Miller, and it's going to be Jansen that comes back to get that rebound.
I love what Natty Berry gave them. I mean, she was sat on the bench a good chunk of the last part of the first half, and I just think she needs to be on the floor because she can do stuff on the defensive side.
Holly pulls up from just inside the three-point arc and hits. She's got her first bucket since about the 8-minute mark of the first half.
Yeah, it's good hustle by Berry. And that all set up, too, because Berry set the screen for Holly to work around. So doing the little things, right? You need those players, those glue players on the floor who are just going to do stuff right there. Nice little screen, allowing Holly to get the nice free throw line jumper. And freeing up your shooters, big positive.
Olsen inbounds from the corner. Looking, gets it in for Fields. Fields gets away from Berry. Bounce pass for Evers. Is going to launch the three. No good. Rebound comes down for Miller. She'll work it back inside. And it's blocked. Olsen saves it before going out of bounds. Fields pressured by Wozniak. Tapped away. 10 on the shot clock.
She's got to go. She can't wait.
Pass comes to Olsen. Quickly inside. Tapped away. Wozniak steals it. Pinned deep in her end and is able to find Holly as the escape valve. Holly on the far side gives it to Jansen. 6-point game. Jansen gives off for Wozniak. Defended by Shaw. Wozniak goes left. Now gives for Brewstwin. Brewstwin back for Wozniak. Thought about the three. Works it back inside for Berry. Down low. No good. Berry gets her own rebound. Blocked. And Evers comes away with that one. It's the Huskies playing good defense in the interior. Keeps this a 6-point game.
Thought she was going to do like her best Angel Reese there and miss the layup, try to get her own rebound.
Fields goes inside. It wasn't on the same page. Holly swoops over to steal that one. Jansen thought about another three. Brewstwin quickly gives off for Holly. Working the perimeter are the Bengals. Holly into the corner. Defended by Shaw. Hand in the face. It rattles home for three.
Well, the iron was unkind in the first half, but this time you get the members bounce on this side. Now it's just like that, a 3-point game and a bump foul.
Foul going against the Bengals. That'll go against Wozniak. I believe it's her first. I think we only had the 2 fouls against Holly and the 1 foul against Fields in the first half.
Very clean first. I mean, it was physical, but the refs let them play, and I don't think they missed anything egregiously. They let the girls play on both sides. No complaints about that.
The board does show a foul also called on Annika Olsen. Shot puts it on the floor, gets it over to Fields. Bounce pass inside. Olsen gets it back out for Fields. She's going to launch the three. No good. Big rebound comes out to Wozniak. Wozniak's going to run the floor, trying to get past Shaw. She gives it off for Holly. Back for Wozniak. Down low. What?
Oh, a late foul
called. I thought that was going to be a great defensive stand there by Evers. Instead, it'll be her first foul. And Wozniak's going to go to the line for 2.
Got to be careful right there, too. I don't think on...
Oh, there was no they call it on the landing.
The after play there from Annika Olsen kind of throwing the ball at the ref. I don't think there's any malice, but it didn't look great from the angle that we were at. It looked like it was sort of a tough throw at the official, and the Blaine crowd wanted a call but didn't get one.
So they're saying that was not a shooting foul since the contact did come after the shot.
Loose ball foul.
So it is a loose ball foul. It won't be any free throws for Caitlin Wozniak. Inbound comes into the corner. Jansen trying to get around Fields. Nice little spin move and a retreat, and then Berry's going to get called for a foul here, trying to swoop in late to get that one, tap that one free.
Yeah, over the back on Berry. It's a good call by the official. And, again, that's not a bad look for Wozniak. It just has not fallen for her in this game.
Inbound comes to Fields, quickly up the floor, Shaw, and then she's harassed by Berry. Pass comes to Evers. Give and go for Olsen. Olsen cross court finds Fields wide open. Blocked. Comes right to Miller, who lays it up and in. That goes in as an assist for Fields.
And, the Blaine coaching staff, Chris Burston wanted that call. Wanted an offensive on Andover. Didn't get it. And they led to a shot the other way for Miller.
Wozniak's pass tipped by Fields and stolen. She runs out of real estate. She's able to give it off and get the ball back. Works it across the timeline. Shaw trying to create an angle to get it in for Miller. Instead, it's going to go far side. It'll be Olsen launching the three. That one, no good. Doesn't touch anything again. She's had 2 of those here tonight.
Oh, man, almost telegraphed that pass to Holly. Holly was able to save it.
Brewster sets a pick. Holly's shot, no good. Olsen races to get that rebound, and will bring it up the floor. 12:55 to go. 5-point lead for the Huskies. Inside, Miller gets that one. She was met by a wall. Spin move, and it's taken away by Holly.
Great defense by the Bengals to swarm. And a
Bounce
backdoor
pass inside to Wozniak, and the lead is down to 3.
But you got to hustle back.
Miller, the other side of the floor, no good. She hasn't missed one all night. That one, she's looking for the foul call. Jansen going to launch the 3, no good. And it'll be the Huskies' ball.
Slow down, please, Miss Jansen. Just hustled that 3 on kind of a heat check, trying to tie the game, but get that thing to the basket. That's a beautiful backdoor cut to Wozniak on that layup. And they were looking for the tie right there.
Bengals will back off in their press that they've shown here, especially on inbound plays. And it's picked off. Telegraph pass, and Jansen jumped it. Wozniak back outside, near side. It's Holly putting it on the floor. Back for Wozniak. They're back and forth. Holly launches. No good. Rebound comes to Barry, and I think we're going to have a foul going against Evers.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Natty Barry is a pest inside, and she's doing it with fundamentals. For those of you watching at home, if you want to figure out how to rebound against taller people, just watch Natty Barry tonight. She has been physical. She has been active. She gets the box out in proper technique and proper positioning, and that's why she's not getting beat by Logan Miller on the inside.
Miller takes her first break of the game. Shaw also steps out into the game for the first time as Mira Bobby. Holmberg also off the bench. Inbound pass comes to Holly. Nice up and under move, and it's a 1-point game. 29-28. Fields nearly walked. Instead, Holmberg shot is blocked. Wozniak got a piece of that ball on the floor. Still working at it. Tipped out. Barry comes away with it. Still trying to work past Holmberg. Wozniak comes away with it. Pass ahead for Jansen. Jansen slows things down. Defended by Bobby. She closes her space. And it'll be Holly. Defended by Fields. Back inside. Rakuski. Up and under. Lays it in.
And if I'm Aubrey Draves, I think I want a TO. I think I want 30 seconds. If they get to the timeline, I wouldn't be surprised she takes it. Yep.
And a timeout is called for the Huskies. Aubrey Draves at the 11:24 mark, trailing. They did trail in the first half. Blaine scored the first bucket. And then Blaine led at 16-15. Huskies made a 3 and never looked back for the rest of the half. Here we are in this one.
Well, we did talk about this before the half, Pete, that it's not that Blaine didn't get shots. They just didn't make anything. And now here in the second half, what are we seeing? They're making some shots, getting to the basket a little bit easier, I will say that, but they are making shots. And that's putting some pressure on Andover, because once Blaine can set their defense, it's a lot tougher for Andover to score.
It's a 14-5 run for the Bengals to open up this second half. And they have a lead at 30-29 after trailing for the majority of the first half.
The big key is all the players kind of know the assignment for Blaine. They're crashing the boards. They're doubling and tripling Logan Miller or Evers on the inside, whoever it is. And they don't need an annotated bibliography for that assignment. They've got it all figured out on their own.
Fields able to get out of dangerous area and avoids the trap. Bobby has her pass deflected. Olsen goes and saves it quickly inside. Evers works it up. And one. Will she go to the line to make that a 3-point play for the Huskies? Exactly what they needed to answer.
I love that answer right there from Evers. Don't finesse it. Be physical and go get that basket, right? Get that. Don't worry about trying to, be special or creative up there. Just be physical. You're stronger than the Bengals defense. Take it up there.
Free throw is no good. And it's a 1-point lead for the Huskies. Barry went up high to get that rebound for the Bengals. Wozniak puts it on the floor, gets into the lane, hard off the back glass. No good. She gets her own rebound. Now throws it up again. That one rattles around and in. And it's a 32-31 game. Bengals playing tough here in this second half, getting back into it.
Set that defense yet again in kind of a 1-3-1.
Inside, Evers takes the pass, and another opportunity! She draws the foul again.
Really good basketball there to break that defense down. And again, it's Evers going strong to the hoop, drawing contact, and now back on the line. And now Miller can get back in.
Olsen, the assist there. Perfect pass, dropping it right in the bucket. If we were playing football, we would say that's the only person that could catch that pass was Evers.
Correct.
Evers free throw. That one is good. And this time she completes the three-point play. Huskies lead by 2.
11 now, 12, I should say, for Evers, as that Miller-Evers combination has 24 of the team's 34.
Holly on Evers on the perimeter. Instead, it's going to be passed out back into Rakuski. Rakuski now working on Evers. And Evers is going to draw her third foul.
That's kind of a bailout call right there, but you know what? They'll take it. And that's Rakuski being aggressive, challenging the defense of Evers. And it's going to be an on-the-floor foul, so not in the act of shooting.
Rakuski will inbound for the Bengals. Near side, she finds Holly on the wing. She's going to launch over Miller, and she hits.
Boy, that was, you make a couple of shots on the inside. Now you step back out, and you can knock down a three. Bengals lead by 1.
2 made threes in a row. Evers is going to answer. Too strong, and Bobby didn't track that one until too late.
Bengals student section getting more into this. They were pretty quiet in that first half, but tell you what, give credit to a 19-point start in this second half. They only scored 16 the entire first half, did the Bengals, and now here they are at 35 with 10 to go.
Holly, she's going to pull up. She's going to shoot again. That one's in!
Oh, boy. Getting hot here in Blaine right now.
Heat check for Mara Holly. That one too long for Miller. Miller's still looking for a foul call. She thinks she was held.
Holly's got 19, and 13 of them coming in this half already.
She had the first 6 points for the Bengals, and she was quiet the rest of the first half.
I think she probably missed 8 in a row in that first half, too, at one point.
Jansen. She's hit a 3 here in this second half. Kind of got the Bengals offense going. Miller with the block on Cummings. Huskies trail by 4. It's the Bengals' largest lead of the game.
Not coming in there with that weak sauce. That's not going to happen with Logan Miller.
Inside, Shaw right at the free throw line. Quickly back out for Olsen as the Bengals defense collapsed on her. Inside, Miller. And she gets locked up inside. I believe that's Rakuski going to draw the foul call. That'll be her second.
There they go, Rakuski. And again, the back, it was actually not bad defense. They had the backside help there, and that's what they're trying to do on Miller, is sort of sandwich her in the middle. That time just a little too physical.
Inside, outside game, finds Fields, near side, she hits it! Ellie Fields! It's a 2, her foot was on the line.
Good job by Miller to have the awareness. There came the triple team, somebody's open, you kick it out, you get the open shot.
38-36, Bengals lead by 2. Cummings into the corner for Holly. She's going to turn and launch. She hits! Mara Holly is on fire!
They called that a 2 as well for Holly.
Scoreboard still has it as a 3.
Oh, it was a 3. No, it was a 3. I guess I missed it. I was listening for what they said.
Shaw launches and no good. Miller got a piece of the rebound. So did Barry, according to the official. It's out of bounds on the Huskies ball with 20 seconds on the shot clock.
22 points for Mara Holly on the night, and she's made 3 threes in a row. Goes to show you, just if you can start knocking down shots on the outside, it is the great equalizer. Natty Barry sits, and I'll tell you, I wouldn't sit her for long. That's a player I want on the floor. She's been such a factor for them.
And the official comes in to overturn. And it'll be the Bengals ball.
Aubrey Draves does not like it. Looking for an explanation, not really getting one to her liking.
Her claim was the official behind the ball made that call, or made that overturn. Inside, Rakuski gives it off for Brewstrin, and it's blocked. It'll stay with the Bengals. Miller gets another block. She's got 3 on the night.
Brewston looked like she was maybe surprised that that came, but she wasn't really ready to go up strong with it. And you cannot be passive against Miller on the inside. You got to take it strong in a miscommunication turnover. And they want a deflection call there, but they're not going to get it. White ball, they go. Coach Brewston not thrilled with that call as well.
Fields will bring it up for the Huskies. 8:06 on the clock. Olsen on the angle. Now gives it to Fields into the corner. Cross court pass to Shaw. Doesn't result in anything. Back on Fields. She'll drive baseline. Gives it back for Miller on the outside. Miller dribbling, looking inside, finds Shaw. Shaw up and under, move, draws the contact, and it'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, it's something that you'd like to see the Huskies do a little bit more of, going inside. I mean, they go inside with Miller and Evers a lot, but if you can get that third player kind of driving and putting some moves on the inside, you have to respect that. And it might free up Miller a little bit more for backdoor passes. Junior guard, again, such a young team, this Husky team.
First free throw for Shaw's good. She had 2 threes in the first half. Gave 6 points.
This was a 9-point lead at the break for the Huskies. And we did think about that just a little bit, didn't we, Pete, about this, with the way Blaine was struggling to only be down 9, you had to feel like that was a gift. Andover may have missed an opportunity or two to maybe go up double digits and really kind of stomp down this Bengal attack.
Stoppage here. Officials had a quick discussion before Shaw's second free throw. Second one's up, and it's good. Nothing but net for Ava on those 2 free throws.
I think she's supposed to be that third scorer. Don't you think, Pete? That one that they're looking to is kind of the safety valve. You have Evers, you have Miller. You need that third player who can kind of give you a little punch. Ava Shaw's been that so far tonight.
Tonight, yeah, she's had that. It's not necessarily been her strength in her game. The shooting is hit or miss. Pass inside, finds Earhart. Rebound goes to Evers. Too strong off the glass. Holmberg just across the timeline.
Turnover right there.
Turnover.
And to your point, Pete, on that one as well, like they've had, so Miller averages 17, Evers averages about 12. The next highest is 5 with Olsen. It's a lot of people averaging 5 and 4 and 4 and 4 between Bowlby, Holmberg, and all them. So they're still looking for that third scorer.
Yeah, you see right there, Annika Olsen not establishing on the front court side of the timeline before catching that one. That's where we get that call. Shot from the left wing. It's good. Brianna Cummings hits.
Boy, they double-teamed on Holly, thinking that they were going to get the ball out of her hands. They got what they wanted, but a big knockdown there from Cummings.
3-point baskets have been the Bengals' key, and this time it's Miller from Olsen again. Logan Miller makes it a 44-40 game. Huskies keeping pace. Jansen nearly picked up that pivot foot.
Bengals, though, trading 3 for 2, Pete. Every trip down, they'll take it.
Cummings works it back out to Holly. She's going to work it into the lane, off the back glass. No good. Miller being harassed, and they're going to say it's a held ball. It'll go to the Huskies.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I don't think Logan Miller was really ready to see how physical the Bengals were going to be to her on the inside. They have clearly made a strategy that they are going to hound her every time she brings the ball down. Not over her head, but when she brings it down to her waist, the Bengals are right there.
Olsen brings it up. Inside quickly, she goes to Miller. Too strong off the back glass. She's got her own rebound. She had it. It was tapped away. And it'll be Jansen bringing it up for the Bengals. Cross court, finds Holly. She pops. It's good! 47-40!
Mara Holly is on a tear right now, and the Huskies don't have an answer.
Her last 4 shots have been threes. She's hit them all. Fields. This side finds Shaw. Shaw gets her momentum stopped. Olsen gets it for Miller. Miller draws the contact and in!
That's a big one.
Barry. Hand off for Jansen. Under 10 on the shot clock. And a pass to nobody.
Yeah.
Turnover. But the Bengals eating up a lot of game clock, just trying to take up all of their possession time, all of that 35 seconds.
Yeah, a little bit of stink ball there from the Bengals, but you have got to keep playing basketball. When you get chances at hoops, you got to get it.
Pass inside. Shaw goes for Miller. No, couldn't get that one to fall, but she'll go to the line for two. Good
Again,
passing for the Huskies, getting that one up the floor. Finds Miller inside.
Yeah, Miller looking at 18 points on the night as she steps to the free throw line. Bengals looked a little discombobulated after the press got broke.
Miller good from the free throw line. She's got 3 straight free throws here.
I mean, those are no doubters, too, by the way. Just nails at the free throw line from this young freshman.
19 points on the game for Logan Miller. Make it 20 for the freshman.
All right, you got to play basketball here if you're Blaine. Don't hold the ball. Try to get a hoop.
2-point game. Wozniak gives off for Jansen. One thing that the Bengals have done by holding the ball is they've turned the ball over less. Cummings being marked by Fields, being swarmed by Fields. Barry hands it back off for Jansen. Under 15 on the shot clock. Hawley working against Shaw. Right back to Jansen. Wozniak calling for the ball, not getting it. Into the corner. 3 seconds to shoot. It's up. No good. Shaw with the long rebound. Gets it over to Fields. Huskies trailing by 2. They've trailed since about the 11-minute mark of this second half. Olsen launches and hits from the right side. Huskies back in front.
Big basket from Annika Olsen right there. Now Blaine's got to answer. Boy, Wozniak, it's just got a lid on it tonight for her. She's only got 6 points and missing a lot of those little bunnies. That was one that you got to have in that moment.
Fields goes into the corner for Evers. Huskies playing with the lead for the first time in 10 minutes. Nearly stolen by Wozniak.
It's offensive.
Offensive foul. Fields immediately reaches to the midsection. I don't think she's all right.
Yeah, she took a shot there, but she got a shot in there too. As you can see, good body positioning, it looked like, by Jansen. And that's an offensive foul. A little out of control was Fields, but she might have taken that right in the stomach. Could have knocked the wind out of her momentarily.
Olsen checking with Fields, asking her, hey, are you all right? She says, I'm good. She comes up and defends right away, and now she's going to pick up her 3rd foul with 1:47 to go in the backcourt.
And they got fouls to give, so that's okay.
To give. Just don't want them to be Ellie Fields anymore with those 3.
Correct. And that's something you got to be aware of and talk to here if you're Andover, making sure that if we are going to commit fouls, let's have the right person do that.
Wozniak catches the inbound pass, brings it across the timeline. That'll be dished back to Jansen. Poked away, and a late whistle there after the poke.
Yeah, a little trip on Fields, and that's what they called a little push trip. As they can see, as the Bengals was trying to go back to retreat for that, you can see right there, a little shove. Didn't look like much, but that's what the ref saw, was that extended arm, I think. I don't think there was much there, but I think that's what the ref was looking at. And what a surprise that the Andover fans are not happy about that call. Weird. They never complain about calls.
And now we're having a conversation.
Just kidding. They complain about every call.
And now the official's coming back over.
And I think they're are they checking on bonus fouls and what's the number and where are we looking at? 1-1 they're going to call, yeah. And a timeout from Blaine.
So a timeout. We'll have 1-1. I think Coach Draves is...
They're trying to say the number, like the scoreboard has one number, and they're at 6. So Andover's suggesting that if they're at 6 fouls, they shouldn't be in the 1-1.
Well, let's see here. We can do some math. You've got 3 fouls committed here by Ellie Fields in the second half, and you've got 3 fouls committed by Mila Evers in the second half. So I'm trying to think here, going back through.
Yeah, is there a little touch call we missed somewhere or something? I think they're talking about it. And now the refs are still talking it over. Look in the second half, though, Pete. This has been the difference. This game became a game because Mara Holly got going from the outside.
So they are bringing the ball here into the near side. There's Holly again from the corner as she's been on fire here in this second half. Single-handedly pushing the Bengals to a tight game.
They did correct that. So, yeah, you're right. Everybody wins out in that one. And now we will get a throw in on the inside. And that's the right call. Referees talked it over, got it right, and that's all you ask for.
Jansen passes in near side from the wing. Shot. Good! 3-pointer for Mara Holly!
Right after the package, of course, we show her making threes. She comes out, makes a three.
She's got 5 in the second half. Thrown away by Ellie Fields.
Fields thought that they were going to make a little move to get back to Shaw to that corner and threw it too early.
Minute 24 on the clock. It's a 2-point game. The Bengals lead. They inbound into their backcourt. It's Brianna Cummings working against Annika Olsen. Works it back to the middle. Bounce pass for Marley Jansen into the far side wing in front of the Bengals bench.
Yeah, take your time, but run your stuff. Don't be a stall offense. You still want to move. Set some screens.
Inside, Jansen decides not to attack against Logan Miller. Holly puts it on the floor, pass Shaw, working back into the lane, throws it up, no good. Fields climbs the ladder for the rebound. Huskies have the ball with under a minute to go, trailing by 2. Fields works past the zone of the Bengals inside. Shaw, bounce pass back out. Cross court. Evers, no good, doesn't hit anything. Barry tracks down the rebound. 39 to go. Huskies don't have to foul, but they do need to play defense. Barry, near side wing, pass comes back out. Shot taken, no good. Going for the dagger was the Bengals. They get the rebound, and then it's bouncing back around.
Good
and a timeout for Chris Brewster. 16 on the shot clock, 22 on the game clock. Next foul the Huskies commit will bring the Bengals to the line. Here, Tim, do you try and foul right immediately after the inbound now?
I think you definitely want to go for the steal. You want to leave yourself time here. And the key is about who it also goes to on the inbound. If it goes to Mara Holly on an inbound pass, I don't know if you want to foul her and put her on the line and be down 2 possessions. You just want to figure out, can I get a steal? Can I play defense? And if the ball ends up in the right person's hands, maybe go ahead and foul. We haven't seen Natty Barry make any shots yet, so if it ends up in her hands, I might want to put her on the free throw line. I'll tell you what, though. To me, Mara Holly is going to get the headlines, and rightfully so. She's played a terrific basketball game in the second half specifically. But again, I can't say enough about how good Natty Barry has been as just sort of that glue player, right? How many offensive rebounds? How many defensive rebounds? How many times has she made the right play at the right time? Set a screen when she needed to. It's the stuff we talk about with Anoka, with Lizzie Shopnek, right? Somebody who comes in and does the little stuff that sets up the big stuff. That's what's been a big difference for Blaine tonight.
She knows her role, and she plays it well. Does Natty Barry for the Bengals.
And she's not on the floor here. Anticipating that foul, perhaps. Maybe you want shooters?
Shooters. Rakuski, Cummings. Wozniak will inbound. Holly down by the basket. Into the backcourt it goes for Jansen. Olsen puts her hands on and will send Jansen to the floor. 19.3 to go. It is 1-1, so if she misses the first, this could work out really well for the Huskies. Could also, Bengals been strong on the offensive glass all night.
Yeah, this could, now you see Barry immediately get up. They'll bring her in if this is a made free throw, just for that reason, Pete.
Olsen goes to the floor for the, and it's a jump ball. Huskies ball, 14-7 to go. It was Olsen and I believe Jansen on the floor. Barry will come in for defense. Rakuski onto the bench.
And now
timeout for the Huskies, 14-7 to go.
And now the question here is, what do you want to run? Obviously, you just need a 2. So if you're Blaine, you have to understand that Miller's going to be option 1 on a low block play. You have to think that that's the first move, right? So you're going to probably front and back. You got to make sure there's backside help. We'll see what kind of pressure they choose to put on this defense, on the players here. Now, if Miller catches it on the low block and that trap comes, who's going to pop open on the outside? Is it going to be Shaw? Are you going to be Fields? Are you looking for Evers in this spot? You got to have a couple of plans here if you're Andover about where you want to go. I think Miller's your first move, but obviously if you can swing it around the perimeter and get an open look, you take it.
Well, the Huskies will have to run the floor. It'll be the length of the floor they have to go. No NBA rules to advance the ball into the front court.
Yeah, so do you want to put some pressure on?
And that's been the Huskies' kind of, Achilles heel, not just here tonight, but, really all season is just getting the ball up the floor. And, so that's the first thing that the Huskies have to make sure that they're sure of, that they have a good path in getting the ball up the floor.
So do you put pressure here? This is the question for Blaine. Do you put full court pressure on, knowing you could give up an easy layup on the other side, but you could challenge these guards for Andover in this moment?
I'm absolutely doing it.
And you're going to show, it looks like Holly's going to at least show a little pressure. And now they are bringing full court up. They're going to go 1-2-1-1, it looks like, on this defense.
Olsen catches the inbound, gets across the timeline. I would look for another timeout. She gets it. 10.3 to go.
Interesting there. That's Gatton avoid you. So you take that chess piece out of the way right there if you're Aubrey Draves. You say, all right, let's get it across the timeline and reset. 10 seconds is all we need to run a play on the offense. We can still set up Miller on the low block, but at least we've taken the half-court trap out of play.
One timeout apiece. All that remains.
Some good work by these two coaches here down the stretch. I think using the timeouts well, playing the game situations well.
Shortening the benches for both teams. On average, Huskies have played 10 players per game here tonight. They've just played 7. Holmberg and Bobby, the only 2 players off the bench that we've seen tonight.
Well, they're a young team, and you know how playoffs work, right? You shorten the bench a little bit, and you ride hot hands. 34 of the team's 51 have come from the 2 horses, right, with Miller and Evers. Now, I'm guessing they'll put Barry on Miller in the low block and make her kind of front. So the question will be, who's there in backside help for the Bengals?
So it looks like it'll be Olsen on the inbounds. Down low will be Miller and Fields.
They go Brewston downside too, right?
Brewston in for defense. Evers and Shaw at the top. Shaw catches the inbound quickly. Gets it off to Evers. Evers puts it on the floor. Cross court, finds Miller. Fields puts it on the floor. She throws it up. It's in! Oh! 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, it's tied!
They call it a 2. The game is not over. They've left the bench, have the Huskies, but the game is not over. It was a 2. Coach Draves says it's a 3, but it's not. Referee was on top of that and called it a 2. Unbelievable shot from Field. Take another look at this one. Let's see. Foot on the line. That's a 2. That is a great job by that official to see that in that moment. A lot of chaos happening in the corner. That is a terrific call by that official, and what a shot by Ellie Field.
Ellie Fields.
Only averaging 4.2. She'd had some turnovers, but right there with the shot of the game. Ellie Fields, fantastic stuff. And let's play some overtime.
Overtime basketball here. That point for Fields, that shot, gives her 5 on the night. So she's right at her season average.
Now here's my question. Blaine thought they lost right there, and they were deflated on the ground. How quickly do they rev back up? And Andover thought they won. How quickly do they get back into the mindset of playing more basketball?
You know, I think the Huskies having that high, I mean, you can see the difference in the benches right now. Huskies have smiles on their fence. Coach Dan Cowan asking me from the bench, was it a 2? Was it a 2? It was a good call. Got to give credit to the officials here when they make those right calls. And our officials here tonight have been pretty solid. We've agreed with the majority of the calls. I really only can think of maybe 1 or 2 where we've gone.
I think they've done a fine job tonight. They've let them play at times, but then when they've needed to tighten it up, they've done that. I feel like they've played it pretty fair. And they've done a fine job. And they communicate, which I like. I like a crew that talks. So even if they're not sure about a call, they get together. They make sure they get it right in the end. I think it's been a really good crew.
So I think Chris Brewstuin is arguing that it should be Bengals ball to start the half. Or to start the...
I think you jump it, don't you? I thought we start right from the top.
I've
always thought we jumped it.
I agree.
So maybe that's I don't know if that's something. Yeah, I've always thought we jump it. It's a brand new game.
Miller quickly gets it to Jansen for the Bengals, and that's not who she was intending. But it tipped right into her hands.
It's got to be Wozniak time, don't you think? Just a quiet night for her.
Just 6 on the night for Wozniak. Hawley, she's going to continue to shoot. That one's no good. And Fields tracks down the rebound from over her head.
She'll need icy hot after the game. Running the floor is Miller.
Quickly ahead for Miller. She slowed her momentum. The pass would have been there if she gets there all right away, but Immediately, head coach Aubrey Draves letting her team know, hey, slow down, slow down. Maddie Berry into the game for the Bengals. She has it in her hands now in the left wing. Looking, cutting pass for Wozniak. Wozniak nearly throws it away. Holly settles things down. Berry into the corner. Finds Cummings. Cummings puts it on the floor. Works back into the paint. Far side. Wozniak works into the paint. No good. Gets her own rebound. Throws it up. That one's no good. Bouncing ball is going to find her way into Ellie Fields' hands. And we're tied here, 53-53. No points thus far in overtime. Minutes gone by. Fields into the corner for Evers. Olsen. She's walled off by Wozniak. She's able to get the pass, though, to Fields. Olsen picks up that loose ball, throws a shot up. That one's no good. And Maddie Berry tracks that one down. Baseball pass up ahead for Holly into the wing. She's going up against Fields. She goes up, too strong over the back iron. Ball's up, and it should be a jump. It is. Huskies ball going the other way. 2:34 to go here. We've yet to score a point in the overtime frame.
You know, Wozniak right now reminds me of a pitcher who is just trying to aim it instead of throwing it. That's what she needs to go hard to the basket and just play basketball. I think she's trying too hard to finesse balls into the hoop.
Inside, Miller stops, gets hacked by Wozniak, and will go to the line for two.
It's an example there of the backside help coming too late, Pete, because once she catches it and turns, if that person's not there, it's over. And you can see just a hair too late, nothing to do there but foul.
Miller's first free throw, no good. She had made 4 straight. She's now 4 of 6 on the night. 20 points for Logan Miller. Mara Holly leading all scorers with 30. Second one's no good. Berry comes down with a rebound and hands it off. Holly. This is ahead for Wozniak onto the right wing. Now backs it out for Jansen. Still no points here in this overtime frame. Jansen will try to get around. Olsen goes all the way in front of her own bench. Picks up her dribble. And Holly is the escape valve. Puts it on the floor with the right. Now back for Jansen.
Needs a screen. Somebody's got to set a screen. Got to move for the Bengals.
Right back into the same spot. Bruchman not liking that one. Tipped away. Kicked at. Comes out to Wozniak. Got it up. No good. Berry's blocked, but a foul. Wow. That'll be Evers' 4th foul. And I'll be very adamant. I disagree with that call.
I don't mind the call. I thought they got a kick that they should have got earlier on that one, but the issue again for Blaine, a good offensive rebound for Berry to keep fighting.
Berry's free throw is good.
You got to box out if you're Andover. You cannot let the 5-6 forward get inside and push you around and get offensive rebounds. It's happened too much tonight for Andover.
Berry's second free throw is good. She makes them both.
She needs to shoot more.
4 points on the night.
That stroke like that, you need to shoot more. That looked awesome.
55-53. Olsen picks up her dribble, gives it up for Fields. Fields attacks and then picks it up, goes back for Olsen. Inside. Miller. Up and in. Lays it in. Gets past the defense of Wozniak. And Miller continues her strong night with 22.
I don't know how it's possible, but they lost track of Miller, and she was able to run freely on the baseline.
Evers working against Berry. Berry gets inside. Too strong off the glass. Rebound comes free. Miller tracks it down. Slowing things down as Miller gives it back to Olsen. Tied again here. 1:07 to play on the clock. Each team was given a timeout. That pass dangerous. Evers is doing a launch. It's good! Under a minute to go. The Huskies lead by 3.
Wow, that was from way downtown for Mila Evers, and that was a huge basket. Huskies now up by 3. Critical juncture of the basketball game. If you're Blaine, you got to hustle and you got to find something you like on offense.
Wozniak drives the lane, gets past the defense, lays it up and in. It's a 1-point lead for the Huskies. Clock rolling.
No time to panic here. Just put pressure on if you're the Bengals.
1 second shot clock difference, approximately 1 to 2 seconds. Huskies have a timeout. Aubrey Draves calls it with 29.8 seconds, 27 seconds on the shot clock.
And now we're back to moving the chess pieces again. If you are Blaine, what do you want to do here? Do you want to foul quickly, give yourself last possession? Knowing that if you foul here, not on a three-pointer, and you put them on the line, they can't beat you. They can't shut you out. But if you play defense and somehow Andover makes a three on you, then the game is over. So it's an interesting call right now.
Both teams gathered around their bench. Bengals have 2 timeouts in their pocket right now for head coach Chris Brustuin. These two teams played tight here in the regular season. The first game here at Blaine was a 59-52 victory for the Huskies. The one at home for the Huskies was a little bit more lopsided. That was a 78-64 win for the Huskies.
Well, these were 2 evenly matched teams, and we got a good basketball game here tonight. And who knew the young kids like Cotton Eye Joe out there dancing? That's crazy. They were everywhere. They reminded me of you in middle school doing those types of dances to that song.
Easy now. I was in the corner probably talking crap about Rudy Rudiger because he came and visited our school.
That's true, he did,
speaker.
And everybody thought he was a fraud. Yeah, he's a fraud. Rudy's a fraud.
I agree. Olsen on the inbound. Gets it into Ava Shaw.
Yeah.
Shaw's immediately fouled.
Yeah, that's the right move.
And it'll be 2 free throws coming up here for Ava Shaw.
It's always been a conversation, right? There's a lot of basketball arguments about that to say, like, why would you foul like that? Why wouldn't you just play defense? Because I don't want a made three-pointer to shut me out of the basketball game. If I put them on the line, I get 28 seconds, and no matter what, I got a chance to tie.
First free throw is good for Ava Shaw. She's got 9 on the evening. Second free throw is money for Ava. She's 4 for 4 from the line, and a timeout for Chris Brustuin. Immediately, 28.2. Huskies lead by 3.
I'm a little surprised that Coach didn't let them take it to the timeline, because now Coach Draves can set a press, right? And so I would have liked to have seen them do exactly what Andover did on the last sequence, and that is get it to the half-court line, then take the timeout, where you give yourself the option to go to the backcourt, but you also only have to work with a half-court offense. Now you have to play full-court press offense to get it across the timeline and take it from there.
As you mentioned, the chess pieces are in motion. Both teams, both coaches using their whiteboards. End of the season, last seconds plays being drawn up.
I mean, you have to assume that Coach Draves is going to press here, right, Pete? You have to think that she's going to bring pressure on those guards, because a 2 is fine. A 2 doesn't beat you, so they'll concede a layup, but they're going to try to keep them off the three-point line.
Huskies have two players with 4 fouls, Ellie Fields and Mila Evers, each with 4. That last one picked up by Evers was here in overtime. And Huskies are definitely going to press. It'll be Wozniak inbounding.
And Miller's going to play like a free safety back here, and they want to put all the pressure on these guards. And they got to go.
It comes into Berry. Quickly back to Wozniak. Wozniak brings it up the floor, right in front of her own bench. Stops. Nearly turns her ankle. Surprised she was able to maintain her balance and not go to the floor. Holly loses it. Dribble, gives it up for Wozniak. She throws it up from inside the lane. No good. Fields with the rebound. Under 10 to go. Huskies trying to dribble it out. Fields dribbled it off her foot. She still has the ball. Shot, turnover. No good. Evers tracks it down. It goes out of bounds. Huskies ball. 1.4 to go.
Boy, they got lucky to get that 3-point shot. I don't know why they tried to settle for the 2 there, but Fields turned it over, and it gave them a chance.
Fields should have just let that go out. She throws it in, gives a really good look.
Yeah, that was a good look for the Bengals. They got what they wanted right there, the chance to tie with a clean look. Just didn't go in, and now all you got to do is inbound this basketball if you're Andover, and you're on your way to the next round.
Anoka is the team that awaits them. That game will be played on Saturday.
I'll be at a speech tournament, unfortunately, Pete, but I'll leave that to our experts that we have doing that one. I think Steve's there, isn't he? I think that's going to be him. That'll be on QCTV, we do believe.
QCTV.
And that'll be meeting number 3. It's always fun when they get these third meetings because Anoka's beaten Andover twice this season.
That they have. I had a chance to talk with members of the Bengals coaching staff here ahead of this game. And that might have been the first thing I said, the old cliche. It's really hard to beat a team 3 times in a season. Well, and the response from the Bengals coaching staff, unless you've got 2 players that are 6 foot tall, then it shouldn't be too hard.
Well, I'll tell you what, credit Blaine for fighting back. I really thought they played just a real gritty second half to be in this basketball game because that first half couldn't have gone any worse.
Immediate foul committed by Wozniak.
One made free throw will ice it, and boy, that shot by Fields is going to be the one to think about here. It'll make you sick if you're the Blaine Bengals.
But Wozniak commits that foul. It'll put Fields on the line.
You know, Fields is one of the only 2 seniors on this roster, and for her to make that shot, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that movies are made of. It's awesome.
And that one should seal it. The second free throw made of the evening for Ellie. And this one inconsequential. 0.6 to go. It goes in regardless, and Fields adds to her total. A long court heave falls, and the Huskies will advance to the Section 7-4A semifinals against the Anoka Tornadoes on Saturday. But this, on the flip side, ends the Bengals season. They fall to 14-13, and a solid season, a very well-played game, an overtime game, but just coming up just a little bit short.
Yeah, this is the fun part about sections, right? You get to see the thrill of victory like what you get tonight from the Andover Huskies, but then you see the face of a Caitlin Wozniak or Amara Holly, knowing that their careers as Blaine Bengals are over. But I'll tell you what, fun basketball game, and if that's what 7-4A is going to be in store for us, we're going to have a fun week here, so it's going to be a lot of fun basketball.
The Huskies will continue to play. The Bengals mark the end of their season. Coming up next for the Huskies, a very tough team in the Anoka Tornadoes.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup because they do have some size with Deborah Ayeni who can match up with Logan Miller, as they've seen in these first couple of matchups. Those two going back and forth will be a lot of fun. The big answer is, does Andover have anybody in the backcourt that can match up with a Maddie Frecking?
That will be the question, and that will be the task for Aubrey Draves and coaching staff to come into the game on Saturday, as that one will be played against Anoka. Want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight on QCTV Sports. What a game we brought to you. Want to thank our crew back in the truck here, out in the gym on the cameras. Always an excellent job for everybody. For my partner, Tim Anderson, it's been a real. We didn't even use the no relation line today.
We didn't even need to.
Didn't need
Wasn't
to.
about us.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. But that'll just about do it here for our broadcast on QCTV Sports. It's the Huskies advancing with a 62-57 overtime win over the Bengals. Thanks to everybody for joining us. Have a good rest of your night.